Welcome back to Rewind Rewatch. I'm Andrene.
And I'm Joel.
And we are siblings born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, who are rewatching 90s movies requested by you lovely listeners. During the episode, we'll talk about the plots, we'll talk about any quotes we like, themes, and then at the end, we will give the movie a rewind rating between 1 and 5. Ow!
Remember when they used to do that? Remember when they used to do that in the sitcoms?
Whenever they kissed? Ooh!
They used to also do that when somebody would like show up to a scene like dressed really nice, like somebody's about to go on a hot date, and they show up in like a skinny dress and be like, "Ooh, ow!"
It's always one ow. It's always.
Who did they designate it? Did they designate it before the show? All right, listen, we can't have more than one ow. You're gonna do the ows. Nobody else does the ows.
Maybe they did that. I'm not quite sure. All right. Sleepy Hollow, rated R. 19. Ooh. Oh, my Lord. I give up. See y'all next week.
No, don't give up. Don't give up.
All right. 1999, 1 hour and 45-minute runtime, requested by Rubik's Cube. It's been a while.
Rubik's Cube.
Directed by Tim Burton, who we saw on our Batman Returns episode. His movies have a very Burton-y feel to them. You had Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas, Batman Forever, Corpse Bride.
He did Batman Forever?
Uh-huh.
Really? I thought he only did the first two.
It was on his IMDb.
Oh, wow. I did not know that at all. Okay.
Corpse Bride, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
I forgot about that.
Beetlejuice, and the Wednesday series.
Yeah, Tim Burton definitely has a aesthetic.
I like it. It's like creepy weird.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like nice Halloween, like cozy horror vibes.
Cozy horror.
Yeah.
Because
like you're not gonna get scared.
That's a genre I had not heard of.
No, because cozy horror, really? Okay, so cozy horror.
Yes, really. That's not something people talk about normally.
Oh, in your circles.
Yes, in my circles.
Cozy horror is like you're not going to be afraid. This is not going to give you nightmares.
Casper? Well, that's not horror.
That's friendly. That's like child's horror. This is like these movies, really. It's like you're not going to watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and be scared to go to sleep, or Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? It's like it's nice.
I was having this conversation in a group chat recently. You can tell how often I'm hanging out with my friends because I always have these conversations in group chats. But like the difference between like a horror versus like a thriller versus like a suspense. Like, how do you, as the resident horror fan on the pod, how do you like classify, like when do you watch a movie and say this counts as horror versus some other genre?
I mean, when you think about being horrified, you know that feeling where you're just like, it was.
Oh my God!
Yeah, like either like you're very scared because like you did like it was terrifying, or like that feeling like where you're just getting like very unsettled, like where you just feel like,
right,
that was too much, like
those demon possession movies.
Yeah, or if like someone's about to get like maybe like something's like stuck in their eye, or. That's like body horror.
Like a Saw movie.
Yeah, it's like body horror. So like there's different types of it, but I feel like it's a feeling that you get where you're just
Isn't that also like a thriller?
Like like Hostel is not a thriller. Like that's horror.
Yeah.
Saw is not a thriller. That's horror. Like
no, but I mean like that feeling of like that tension.
You can, but I feel like the feeling you're getting from watching The Italian Job is not the same that you're getting from watching Saw.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's like that feeling is just different. You're just like, ooh. But like with Tim Burton, you're not going to get scared. It's just like nice Halloween vibes, you know? It's like,
yeah,
throw us on with some popcorn and chill out. So the main character here is Ichabod Crane, played by Johnny Depp. The first time I saw Johnny Depp was in A Nightmare on Elm Street, which came out in 1984, the year of my beautiful birth. He was one of the high school kids.
Oh,
he was the one who was supposed to stay up with the girl so that she didn't fall asleep.
That was the first time you saw him in a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he did Edward Scissorhands. He did 21 Jump Street, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Donnie Brasco, Pirates of the Caribbean, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, forever. And Sweeney Todd was a big one that he also did.
He did a lot of joints. He did he did that movie where he was a gangster. I mean, he did Black Mass where he was a gangster, but the other
I know
one,
you're talking about. That's a really good one. Dillinger.
John Dillinger.
John Dillinger is the character that he plays. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Johnny Depp, he got some good joints. And then Christina Ricci plays Krachina Van Tassel, who is his love interest. And she is from the Addams Family. That's how I know her.
I don't know what the hell that love story is all about, to be honest with you.
And you mentioned Casper. She's in Casper.
She is.
She's also in Wednesday. And she's also on a show called The Yellow Jackets. That's on Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
That show was really trippy and really good.
Is it horror?
Does
it count as horror?
I might say it does count. It's a lot of like weird, like paranormal woods stuff that's happening that it might be. You're still trying to figure out what exactly happened, but yeah, it's good. And then of course we also have Christopher Walken, briefly.
We don't get the Christopher Walken voice.
No,
it's like last week with Tom Selleck without the mustache. It's like, is it really even Tom Selleck? Does it really even count? I feel the same way this week with Christopher Walken. It's like if he's not doing any dialogue, then it's like,
what's even the point of
does it
having
even
him
count? Yeah, you could have just gotten any guy. And I see Christopher Walken, I want to hear that voice.
I'll be honest, fellas, it was sounding great, but I could have used a little more cowbell.
All right, so let's get into your one-sentence summary of Sleepy Hollow.
Yes. A lawyer? I don't know. Is he a detective? It's very unclear to me.
Constable, yeah, he's a detective.
Okay. A detective from New York City explores the town of Sleepy Hollow to uncover a mysterious murder who has been decapitating its inhabitants.
That's it. So at first look, when we meet Ichabod, he is trying to do his job. Like he's trying to investigate basically how this person has died. They see that they're getting a body that was in the river. They pull it out. And basically the other cop is like, oh yeah, like it's death by drowning. And he's like, how do you know? It's like, we pulled him out of the river.
Yeah.
So he drowned.
That's the way it works here.
And he's like, well, no, like we don't know if he was dead before he got thrown in. And everyone's kind of looking at him like, what are you even talking about? It's like he's trying to get to the bottom of things, and everybody's just trying to like throw people in jail, move on to the next case. And he seems to be the only person that's trying to do any type of testing. And it's weird because although he's a detective, it's almost like he's kind of acting as like a coroner as well.
Yes, I'm
and
glad
doing all
you brought
these
this up
experiments.
because I'm like, what is this man's job? Like, I was very unclear because there's also a scene where he's like presenting to a judge in a courtroom. So I'm like, is this guy a lawyer? Like, is he a detective? Is he a coroner? Is he supposed to be all three? I don't know. This guy's multi-talented.
I mean, to be fair, this is like, what, 1799? So, like, maybe back then it was kind of like, do what you do. Like, maybe the lines
do what you do.
Maybe the lines were a little bit more gray.
Clearly.
And it was kind of like, all right, just, whatever you're good at, just jump in here. So, it's very clear that he is trying to do his job, and it seems as though he's bothering the other cops who are just kind of like, we want to open and shut these cases, which, watching The Wire, boy, I feel like that's that's everywhere. Just open and shut these cases.
That is the story of The Wire. Like,
whoa,
police incompetence and doing as little work as possible so that they could get its credit for it.
Yes, and so the head magistrate in New York City basically is like trying to get him up out of this town. They're like, oh, yo, Ichabod, there's like a bunch of murders happening upstate in Sleepy Hollow. They're not really sure what's going on, but we want to send you up there so you can like do whatever scientific studies you're doing, your investigations, and then like see if you can figure out who's doing it, and then of course to stop the murders. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there and figure it out. And so when he gets to Sleepy Hollow, like he is trying like to get to business and get down to what's going on, and he meets with basically like the main guys who seem to like run this town.
Yeah.
So
Jay-Z and Rihanna and Kanye West
run this town tonight. So you have the town elder's doctor. And there's a lot of people and a lot of names. So I'm not going to get into them because it'll get really confusing.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of names. Like, there's a lot of names.
I was
so
like, who?
I'm going to just, like, if it's important, I'll say the name. But otherwise, I'll pretty much just say, like, what their occupation is. So,
well, you talked about him getting sent to Sleepy Hollow. And I kind of felt like they were sending him on a dummy mission.
yeah.
Like, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, like, this guy's actually just mad annoying, and let's just send him to go investigate this case that he can't solve because he's not going to be able to figure it out, and it'll keep him out of our hair for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to go play detective coroner, then this will give him an opportunity to do it without bothering us.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, there's really no indication that anybody is really on his side in this. Maybe, I guess, the people of the town, but they're all kind of being a little cagey with him when he shows up, too. So it's like, does anybody actually want him to solve this case? Unclear. But anyway.
I mean, I'm sure the townspeople do. The people who are having, like,
that's
their
true. The people
husbands
who are worried
and whatever
about their
getting
heads getting
being
cut
chopped off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have these town elders. So you have the doctor, you have a notary, you have a reverend, the magistrate, and then the prosperous farmer, that is Mr. Van Tassel. That's the one name I'm going to give you out of those guys. Mr. Van Tassel is the father of Katrina Van Tassel, who is the young girl who Ichabod has feelings for.
Right. Like, how old is this girl supposed to be? 'Cause that was not very clear to me, and I'm like, what exactly is going on here?
Yeah, so what's funny about you mentioning the age difference is Johnny Depp apparently said in an interview that he felt awkward playing opposite of Christina Ricci because when they first met, he was like in his 20s and she was like 9. So it's like their age gap is like crazy. And even she was like, yeah, it was like a little...
Not in this movie. She's not 9 in this movie.
No, but I'm saying like their age... The gap between their ages is very wide. And so it's like, it's very obvious when you're watching it that like, bro, let's say she's 18, 19. It's like, bro, you're like in your 30s.
You're right.
So it's very obvious that they're not the same age, but it's also like, this is how they cast us. So whatever. And like, they didn't have any like crazy scenes. Like,
did they even kiss?
So the first time they kissed was she was playing that weird game where it's like, you have a blindfold and like they spin her around and you just grab the first guy that comes up to you and you kiss him. And it happened to be him. But no, there was no like make out scene or anything like that.
I didn't think so.
It was just like, oh, my my heart's been, no, he's like, you must be a witch because I've been bewitched by you. And I was like, okay.
It's a really bad line.
She loved it.
That was it was a standout. It was a standout bad line.
So basically what's going on here is, like Joel said, there is this being, apparently, this Headless Horseman. And the story that he gets from the elders is that back in the day, there was
the warrior.
a war. So he was a Hessian horseman. Basically, he was from Germany who fought alongside the British troops against the United States during the Revolutionary War. And that's the character that's played by Christopher Walken. He looks absolutely crazy because
those sharp
the character,
teeth?
they basically like his teeth are filed down to sharp points. And he was known for basically just like lobbing people's heads off. Like that scene where they show the war, I was just laughing because I was like, yo, how sharp is this man's sword that like every time he goes, he just knocks people's heads off? Like
lopped off?
Like all of the heads are just flying off like crazy.
Heads will roll.
And eventually, he does end up dying by getting his head lobbed off. And now they're saying that like the Headless Horseman has come back because he's been riding throughout the town. right now, when the movie starts, we actually see 2 victims get their heads chopped off, like off the bat. Mr. Van Garrett and his son get their heads chopped off the bat from the beginning of the movie. And so we know this is going on, and the town's trying to figure out, how can we possibly appease this being? Now, Ichabod's not really buying this. He's like, y'all trying to tell me there's some headless horseman that's running around? He said, no. I believe in science. I believe in what I can see, what I can prove, and like there's an actual person who's doing this, so I'm gonna solve the crime. And as the movie progresses, we find out that Katrina is also into like some witchcraft stuff. Like she
bewitched him. He told you, though. He told you.
She's doing different things.
Maybe she did pass a spell on him. Who knows?
I don't think she's doing that. Everybody knows that love spells aren't good. So that's why I kind of felt like the way that their belief systems were so misaligned that I was like, there's no way you could ever possibly be with this girl because you clearly don't believe in anything that she has staked all of her hope and trust in. She has a whole book of like spells and whatnot that she subscribes to, and you're kind of looking at her like, none of this is actually real. And at first he doesn't believe what's going on until he actually does come face to face with the Headless Horseman one night. And he is absolutely terrified because he sees, I don't know if it was Katrina's boyfriend or the suitor, but he sees his head get chopped off. And once he sees that happen, he's like, oh, this is like a real thing. The person has no head. And he's freaked out. Like anybody would be, because
listen,
what in the world was that?
The story sounds so ridiculous that it's like, oh, and this is my first time watching this movie, so I'm like, all right, like, is this actually what's happening, or are these guys like in on it and they're telling him a tall tale? Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, they are in on it, but the story is just like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. So he's feeling the same way, but when you see a headless horseman, like in front of your face, and you see him chop a man's head off, then it's like, all right, like that's gonna make you a believer pretty quickly.
I think what's funny to me is like not the fact that the horseman chops the heads off, but then like he goes back to retrieve them.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, let me get that. He's like, I'm taking this with me.
It's like, bro, why are you just snatching heads?
Nah, he's like, I'm taking this with me. Like, you're not getting anything. So that's when they keep coming back, and they're like, oh, like, we just found another headless body. And it's like, no heads? Like, nah, they don't have no heads left. Which is also crazy because they keep identifying these people.
Yeah.
Like, but how are you identifying them?
It's like
it's 1799. It's not like you had fingerprint systems.
I think it's the clothing. Because think about it, back then, you don't have the outfits we have now. Like, you don't have...
probably have, like 3
2
shirts.
outfits. Yeah, like, you have... The women have, like, 3 or 4 dresses. You
like,
keep washing and wearing them again.
I know this is Peter's shirt.
Yeah.
Like, he only had a few shirts.
Or, like, markings on their body or their shoes. You could just tell who it is.
Or a cut on their palm.
Yes. So, I mean, there's so many victims. Like this is a fun, like, heads just being lopped off left, right, and center. And... there's a scene where, actually, it's a scene right before Katrina's boyfriend gets his head lopped off. It's the horseman is going after this man who has a wife and a young child, and he goes into the cabin. He bodies the husband while they're fighting. The wife goes into the bedroom, and she hides the son like under the floor, like in a little like hatch. And the Headless Horseman comes in. He kills the husband. He kills the wife. And he's getting ready to leave. The little boy is under the wood. And I'm like, he's not going to kill the kid.
Nah.
Bro, he's not going to kill the kid. And then he turns back. Nah. I think he heard a sound. And I was like, he's going to kill the kid.
The kid made a noise, man. The kid made a noise.
I mean, the kid was quiet for most of it. Like, he saw his mother's head, like, her eyes staring at him through the wood.
Through the floorboards.
Oh, my God. And so I was like, yeah, the kid makes a noise and it's over. And so... I was reading up on it, and this DVD commentary in the film where Tim Burton basically says that he hates when he's watching a movie and the kids are spared from danger. Because he's like, I remember like even when I was a kid, I'd watch a movie and it's like, oh, I know because they're a kid, they're going to be treated differently. And he hated it. So he made it a point to make sure this kid got his head cut off.
Well, they don't show it.
Well, no.
That would be too much.
No, but like he basically grabs the kid up, and then when he's leaving, you see him putting something, assuming the head, in his bag, and it's just kind of like,
the bag looks full.
It's full.
So it's like, oh, there's more than 2 heads in this.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're able to assume that he got the kid. So that was a nice little surprise, I suppose. I guess we can talk about Miss Lady Van Tassel.
Yeah, because she's
the whole point.
She's doing this. She's doing everything here. She's doing everything here.
So she's Katrina's mother, and she's married to stepmother. Katrina's stepmother, who's married to Katrina's father, and
who's like the big man on campus.
Yeah,
he's like the guy that runs this town, basically.
Yes. So basically, the way it works is, I believe Katrina's father was offered a job back in the day by the Van Garretts. The Van Garretts were like the OG rich family that like owned everything. And then Katrina's family, her dad, got a job by the Van Garretts, and over the years got more and more possessions, more and more land, and now he's like basically running things. And his his new wife, her stepmother, her character, the first time I met her, you don't really suspect anything. It's just kind of like they're inviting him into their home. She seems to be, a normal wife of the times. But then one night, Ichabod goes out and he sees that she is having an affair with someone out in the middle of the woods. Mm-hmm. And during the sex act, she takes a dagger, and he thinks that she's getting ready to stab this man. So he's getting ready to interfere. And then before she stabs him, she puts her hand up and like just slices the middle of her palm and then smears her blood all over his back. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I kept waiting for that to circle back, and now I still feel like they did not really explain what that was all about. Like, why did she do that?
Because I was like, did she like bewitch him? Like, was that like the bewitching, like the spreading of the blood? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but she was controlling the horseman. She didn't need to do that. So then it's like, why did she do that? And she's like, oh yeah, I know you saw me. I saw that you saw me. It's like, don't tell my husband. Like, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know what the hell I just saw, lady. That was insane. Why did she cut herself?
Yeah, because I was watching it and I said, I know people are into a lot of different stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know what the rubbing my blood on your back. Is that a thing? Is there OnlyFans for that?
There probably is, but also like it was also the way she did it. It wasn't like she like pricked her finger.
No, she sliced it.
She like sliced a big ass like cross like in the middle of her palm. So it's like, why did you do that?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. But yeah, she had that man. So basically, like, just to give you like an idea of what the hell was going on, because it took me a while. Like, I had to like kind of rewind her speech to like figure out what moving parts were. So apparently she said that when she was younger.
This is the stepmother.
Yes. When she was younger, she had a twin sister. It was her sister, her mom, and her dad. And they were residing on a piece of land that was owned by the Van Garretts. The Van Garretts was the first guy that we saw who was murdered. While she was living there, her father passed away, and basically they could no longer afford to work on the land or to pay for the land. And so instead of being able to stay, Mrs. Van Garrett was like, get up out of here, kicked him off the land. And then her sister, and her mom had to go and live in the wood area.
No one in this God-fearing town would take us in because my mother was suspected of witchcraft. But she schooled her daughters well while we lived as outcasts in the western woods. She died within a year.
So now these two girls are in the woods by themselves, like having to fend. They were pretty young because in the opening scene, when the Headless Horseman gets his head chopped off, we see the two little girls in the wood. So they were very young, living on their own at that time.
I mean, the two little girls is the reason he got killed.
Oh yeah, that was her though, because I think
it was her.
Her sister ran and she snapped a branch.
It was definitely her,
and she watched him get his head chopped off.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, word."
I was like, "Girl."
Nah, she was a sicko.
She was about that life. So after that happened,
about that murder life.
So after that happened, she basically was like, I need to get back into the life that I was supposed to have, like living on the land and being able to like live outside of this wood. And so she said that after the Hessian died, she basically like pledged her soul to the devil. If he would raise the Hessian up, basically to like help her get revenge. But like, my problem with her was like, she killed mad people that were not even related to the Van Garretts. So it's like, if you're mad at the Van Garretts, kill Mr. Van Garrett and his son. That's fine. But like, now you're killing like
everyone that helped them.
Yeah. So like, Van Garrett apparently had a secret marriage to one of the victims, and she was pregnant. So she ends up killing the pregnant woman because she knew that like she would be able to inherit the money. Like, and it just got so out of control that she was just murdering anybody who knew the woman was pregnant, anybody who could potentially get money from Van Garrett. And I feel like, yes, she
definitely spiraled out. It's definitely like one of those, it's like one of those like crime dramas where it's like, it starts pretty simple and then it just keeps getting more and more complex as it goes on. Cause it's like, now, to cover up one thing, you have to do this, and then to cover that up, you have to do this. I feel like that was what was happening here. It was like every time somebody knew anything related to the last person she killed, she had to kill them. So then she ended up getting like, I don't even know, 10 people killed. Like, it was mad.
Yeah, I think I had like I had 10, and then I stopped counting because they had that one scene in the church where like everybody was just dying. Like, people were shooting each other inside the church, and there was a lot going on. So yes, that was her whole thing. It was like, basically, I was wrong when I was a child. I lost both of my parents, and basically like, I deserve to get this money. That was really her whole thing. And so she was controlling this Headless Horseman. So what I thought was, there's a scene where Ichabod has like this young like squire who's like working with him, young Masbeth. His father had his head chopped off, and he has no mom. And so basically he's like, I want to avenge my father and come with you on this journey. And they're in the wood, and they run into the twin sister who is now living in the wood as like a witch. Mm-hmm. And he basically asks her, like, where can I find the Headless Horseman? Like, what do I have to do? And she tells him where to go. There's this tree of the dead where his body is buried. And this tree reminded me of Fern Gully.
Nah, Tree of the Dead.
Did you
is
think
crazy.
of that? Like this huge, thick, like twisted tree. And
I didn't think about Fern Gully, but that does make sense. So there's definitely a connection there.
It's the Hexus tree.
Hexus.
It looks just like it. And basically, that's where the Headless Horseman's resting place is. Ichabod goes and digs it up, and he sees basically the Headless Horseman. Like, you see the skeleton, but of course, the skull itself is missing. And he realizes that whoever has the skull controls it, because the night when Katrina's boyfriend was killed, he tried to warn him, like, he didn't come here to kill you, because at first, the Headless Horseman basically tries to fend them off without killing them, if you notice. If he wanted to, he could have lopped both of their heads off.
Oh, that's right.
But he kept, like, pushing them off and, like, you know, fighting with them and, like, sparring with them. And it's like, he's like, wait, he's trying to walk away. And then the other guy was like, no, I'll get him myself. He's like, all right. At that point, the Headless Horseman was like, I'm tired of playing with you.
Yeah.
He tried to walk away mad times.
He did try to walk away mad times.
And you kept trying to, like, play with him, so he got his head chopped off. So once he realized that, he's like, first of all, he's not just killing anybody, he's being sent to do it. And then he realized the head is missing. And there's a part where, like, you see this big tree, and the tree starts to, like, slowly open, and the tree is, like, bleeding blood. It's not sap, it's blood coming off of the tree.
Nah, yeah, he cause Ichabod's like, yo, what's going on with this tree? So then he tries to, what's it called? Not chop it down, but he starts chopping at it with like a small axe, and then just blood starts squirting out all over his face. So I was like, wait, what's happening?
And then it opens, and you see like all the heads that he
all
took.
The people that have died.
Oh man, that was so cool. It was all sitting there like crazy. In like a bunch of like congealed blood. And then it starts to open more, and that's when the Headless Horseman is riding the horse, and he like comes out the tree.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait a minute. So why is the horse in hell? I can understand. I'm like, why? What happened to the horse?
The horse got killed at the same time.
But why is he in hell?
It's not hell. He's in the tree of the dead.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why is the horse stuck?
Because he's a horseman. He needs a horse.
All horses don't go to heaven?
Nah, I mean, listen, who's to say that that's hell? We just know it's the tree of the dead. Now, I will say, like, I had always heard of, like, Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman, but I never really... This is not, like, the type of movie that I typically watch. So I never watched this. I know they had, like, movies, they had TV shows around this whole story, but, like, I never really watched any of them. And so at the beginning, I'm like, okay, like, is there actually a Headless Horseman, or is this some sort of, like, optical illusion that somebody's playing on them? Somebody has to be committing these murders. And it isn't until we actually see, like, an actual Headless Horseman. I'm like, oh, so this is, like, an actually, I don't even know what the right word is, supernatural movie.
Yeah, because the first time we see someone that appears to be a Headless Horseman going after Ichabod, they end up throwing a pumpkin at him, and they're revealed to be Katrina's boyfriend, and he was, like, messing around with him. Right. So the first time you're kind of like, yeah, all right, cool. But then you're right. The second time, like when you see an actual head get lopped off and land between your legs.
But even at the beginning, when they're telling him the story, I'm like, these guys are full of it. Like, there's no way this is actually what's happening. And this is some sort of, like, folk legend that they're either they actually believe this or they're just trying to convince him this so that he doesn't uncover some sort of truth.
Yeah.
So once I realized, like, oh, like, there's actually, like, a ghost and this tree of the dead, and I'm like, oh, like, this is now I have to, like, reshape what I think this movie is.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be something else. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I liked having someone controlling it. Like, the idea that, like, the villain is still a human, is still someone on this earth.
Right.
But they're controlling this paranormal being, as opposed to just having a paranormal being just out here doing whatever they want.
Yeah, because it's like he has no motive. So then it's like, all right, so he's just, like, killing people just because he's a ghost? Like, that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah. So them doing it that way gave it more, made it make more sense to me, and I enjoyed that.
Now, I think they also throw a lot of curveballs throughout the movie because... Like you said, the stepmother is kind of like an unassuming character for most of the movie. And she's kind of easy to forget. And you're looking at, first of all, these four guys that, like, run this town. Like, what are they hiding? One of the guys knows to tell Ichabod, like, oh, you know, there's now 4 graves, but there's actually 5 people that are dead.
Yeah.
Which helps him to go dig up the body of the widow and discover that she was pregnant, which was not... So it's like, oh, all right, so how did this guy know that? So, like, they're giving you, like, they're dropping these little hints throughout the movie. It's like, these people know more than they're putting on. Somebody's behind this. And throughout it all, Katrina is just like... mad creepy, bro.
Oh, you didn't trust her?
No, I did not trust her at all. I was like, yo, this guy is supposed to have this great intuition. He's supposed to be this big detective man. And he's like, you know, getting all boned up over this girl who, like, gave him a kiss on the cheek after he was in town for 5 minutes. So I'm like, yo, like, come on, bro. You open your eyes. Like, obviously there's something up with this girl.
But then, remember you see, like, the evil eye, what appears to be under his bed?
Yeah.
When young Masbeth was like, you've been bewitched or something like that, or someone put a hex on you or something. He said,
well, who drew that?
Katrina.
Exactly. So I'm like, nah, bro, like, get this girl out of here.
But then...
And we're led to believe that, oh, that's exactly what happened. Like, Katrina was up to, it was, you know, there was some cahoots going on. She's doing witchcraft. And he's about to leave. And just, he doesn't want to turn her in because I guess he still has feelings for her for whatever reason. And he's like, yeah, he tells Masbeth, like, yo, like, just don't say nothing, bro. Like, even though we think, even though it's probably is Katrina, like, yeah, just let it rock, which is like kind of crazy because mad people have now been murdered, but
it's not his problem.
So now he's just like, all right, I'm going back to New York. Like, this is stupid. I thought I was gonna catch some bad guy. I didn't know she was gonna be hot. So he's just like, yeah, I'm not locking her up. Like, it's over. And also, I think the real reason he's leaving too is because he has no evidence left.
Oh, yeah, she burned it.
She burned it.
Well, remember, he thought it was her father initially that was in on it. Right. And so she's like, it's not my dad. It's not my dad. And you're probably like, yeah, because it's her.
That's exactly what I was saying.
It's not her dad. It's her. It's her.
And when they show the throwback, when they show the flashback of the Hessian warrior, you see a little blonde girl. So I'm like, oh, that was Katrina. Not thinking it was her stepmother.
Got it.
Again, the stepmother, and this is the thing with like, when I watch like these mystery dramas with my fiance, she loves trying to figure out what's going on. Like, she loves like a murder mystery or even like mystery comedies, like Only Murders in the Buildings, like her favorite show. And I just like watch the shows. Like, I watch the movies. I'm just like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. But I'm not really good at like trying to figure out. So as far as I'm concerned, I feel like I always get thrown off by this, which is something that they do all the time. It's like the character that you're paying the least amount of attention to ends up being the person at the end.
Yeah.
And it works on me every time because I'm like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about this person. Like, they just show up, they have like a few lines, and then they drift into the background. And those are always the people that you have to be paying attention to in movies like this. But like, you just don't because they're not important, not to mention the fact that this movie is like the game of Clue. Like, there are 200 characters.
There's so many people.
So it's really difficult for you as a viewer to be like, oh, I'm going to pay attention to every single person and like try to figure out. It's like, I am forgetting that this woman is even a character by the time we get to the end of the movie because we've been introduced to so many other folks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. So he leaves out, and what we realize is when they're in the church, do you remember the Headless Horseman comes back? This is when we are led to believe that the stepmother is dead. Which was a great twist.
That was crazy.
It was a great twist.
That was crazy because her husband comes to the church and is basically like, well,
you gotta rewind that. Before that,
he says to Ichabod, like, yo, the streets is hot right now. Everybody thinks you're up to something. And the whole town is about to get together and basically like throw you under the bus. Mm-hmm. So it would be in your best interest to just skip town. So he tells him. So it's like, oh, like this guy obviously knows that he's about to get caught.
Right.
And so he wants you scared and running away so that you don't basically lock him up. This is the whole thing.
So Ichabod's like, oh, I'm definitely going to the church to meet up with your people.
So he's like, nah, dogs. Like, I already know what time it is, and your ass is about to be...
Your ass is grass.
Yeah, like, you're coming with me, buddy.
So you see the farmer, and he is out there with his wife. His wife is like gathering some type of root, some type of flower, because she does her own magical stuff.
Yeah.
And
she need to
next
heal that
thing
hand,
you know, like the wind is blowing, and you hear like the Hessian Horseman is coming.
You already know what time it is. Once that wind start blowing,
but then it cuts, and the next thing we see is like everybody's running into the church. The farmer Van Tassel is there, and he's like, "They got her, my wife. Like, she just got killed by the Headless Horseman." And so now we're thinking like, bro, did you kill her? Like,
right.
Did you just kill your wife? Like,
right.
What do you mean? So everybody runs into the church, and there's the part where you see Katrina gets down on the floor, and you see her like closing her eyes, and she's drawing something on the floor. And I'm like, what the heck is she doing? And Ichabod starts noticing the people. He's like, oh, for some reason he can't get into the church. And if people would just listen, people weren't listening.
They weren't listening to him at all.
No, it was it was complete mayhem. It was chaos. You got people fighting each other, shooting each other, two of the elders get into a fight and end up killing each other.
Horseman cannot enter!
Why should we die for you?
The horseman cannot enter. He cannot cross the gate.
We have to save ourselves.
The next past the danger and they'll meet.
We got a bullet!
Sometimes you gotta shoot people. I don't know.
And he's like, wait, he can't get in. He can't get into the church.
He's like, guys, like, we can literally just sit down. Like, he cannot get into this church.
Yo, this scene, I got a brief flashback of watching Sinners. Is a scene where it's like, bro, all y'all had to do was stay in the freaking building until sunrise. But anyway, I started getting ignored all over again.
People don't listen.
I started getting ignored all over again.
And that's the other thing. It's like, once people feel like their lives are at risk, they're not really paying attention.
No.
And so then everybody's just reacting. It's like when you have like a fire drill, it's like, this is nice, but if there was an actual fire, then everybody turns into George Costanza.
You forget about the straight lines. Find your partner.
Yeah, like, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. So Katrina's drawing this thing on the floor, and we realize later on that what she drew was actually a sign of protection to keep your loved ones safe. It was not the evil eye. And because she drew that in the church, that's why the horseman could not get in.
So, which means that's the same mark that she had drawn under
his bed
Ichabod's
to
bed.
protect him, which means she's not the killer. And it's when he's in the carriage driving back to New York that he's like looking at his paperwork. He opens up the book because she gave it to him before as a gift. Mm-hmm. And he's looking through and he sees the symbol and he's like, wait a minute.
She's not who I thought she was.
Right. It's not her. And like her father's dead. So like, who is it?
Now, her father died crazy too.
His death was the worst one.
His death was crazy.
Because he got like pierced through the chest. He was standing like on the, like some kind of, like a
top of a stairwell.
Top of something inside of the church. He gets pulled through the window. He gets dragged through the cemetery. Then he gets stuck against the fence. And then he gets his head chopped off.
Yo, that was crazy.
That scene was fantastic.
That was crazy.
But yeah, so now it's kind of like, so what's going on? He turns back, tells the horseman, like, let's go back to the town, see what's going on. And that's when we realize that the stepmom was not actually ever dead. She ended up killing a servant girl and cutting her palm, so that people would see it, people meeting Ichabod, would see it and think that she was actually dead. She killed her own sister, chopped off her head. Yo, she was chopping off heads left, right, and center.
Because she was like, yo, I want this money. I want this revenge.
This money.
And I don't want to share it with anybody, including my stepdaughter, who I'm also going to kill.
Stepdaughter, my sister, nobody.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
She gonna kill the whole town.
I'm going to have this entire empty-ass town to myself.
What's the point? And also, like, girl, this is like not even 1800. You about to be dead in a couple days anyway.
Right.
Like, people didn't live that long.
It was... Well, maybe I guess that is why she's like, well, you know, these people's lives don't matter either. So they'll all be dead before they hit 40, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, so she's wilding out, and then you have this like final fight scene that happens where because she has the head of the Headless Horseman, she's trying to sick basically the Headless Horseman on to kill Ichabod and kill Katrina. And there's like a lot going on with like Ichabod ends up being dragged by two horses, and there's like a fire that happens. And because the Headless Horseman is dead, you can't kill him because he's dead already. So you're basically just running and trying to figure out how can you possibly escape him. And then eventually Ichabod gets a hold of the skull. And by getting hold of the skull, he throws it to the Headless Horseman. And now the Headless Horseman has his head back. And thereby has his power back.
Nah, his whole face grew back.
And when his face grew back, oh man. It was like so gross, but so cool at the same time. And he comes back together, and now
he's Christopher Walken.
Now stepmom is in trouble because she promised her soul to the devil.
It's like, oh, you don't know what happened? I made a deal with the devil, and that's how. It's like, wait. You skipped over a big part there. Hold on. Rewind. Let's go back. You did what now?
She said it so like matter of fact too. Like
she's like, it was crazy. I was living in the woods with my sister. We had no money, and I saw this man get killed. So I did what anyone would do in my situation. I made a deal with the devil, and I said, if you bring back this horseman, then like, wait, what?
To avenge me, yeah. That's it.
So that also means at the end, like, you did all this for nothing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, did he just drag her to hell? Is that what that was?
Drag me to
Because
hell.
like the tree of death opens.
Nah, the tree of death.
And then they rode into it.
And that's the thing is, everybody else in the tree of death is already
Is dead.
You're going in there as a live human.
And then her arm gets stuck on the way in.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's gonna be rough for her.
It's not gonna be a good journey.
You're actually better off getting your head chopped off. Honestly.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
You're so serious about that.
I need that. I need that.
Yeah.
I need that. Chop me off, dogs.
Yeah. Chop me off.
Don't drag me to hell. No way.
Chop me off.
Chop me off. So I just need a little off the top.
Yeah. So she had it worse. So then in the end, Ichabod ends up taking Katrina and young Masbeth. And
You just like saying Masbeth.
I do.
I can tell.
And he goes back to New York City with them. And at this point, he says, at the start of a new century, so now it's 1800. And he's basically telling them, like, you'll be able to get used to being here. So now he got his woman and he got a son, helper.
Yeah, apprentice.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely going to grow up and become the next
Ichabod?
coroner, detective, lawyer.
Career detective, attorney, whatever the heck he is.
Yeah.
He was doing everything.
And he was like making his own equipment. He had them funky glasses that he like created.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot.
I mean, he was very smart because even when he was talking about how the wounds were all cauterized on the bodies, so he was like, it's like the sword was like crazy hot when it cut the head off. Like there's no wound. He's like, there's no like marks on the body. It's just a clean cut. So
Hell's heat.
he was packing heat, all right.
Hell's heat, man.
Nah, Tree the Dead had me weak.
I mean, they it's a Tim Burton movie. A lot of the movie is, I wouldn't say dark, not in the same way of like Seven was like dark, but the coloring in the movie specifically was like very gloomy. Like everyone's skin looked like palish blue, and it wasn't so much that they turned the brightness down where it was dark. It was more so that they turned the tone of the colors down.
It's so funny you say that because what they did was they used a blue camera filter.
Oh, well, there you go.
Over the whole movie to make it appear darker.
There you go.
And so the fake blood on set was actually bright orange in actual color so that it would appear to be red on the film. So the fact that you picked up on it means it worked out because it was very obvious. It was very gloomy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the color tone is different more so than like the contrast. But you notice that at the end of the movie when he goes back to New York, it's very bright.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, like once they got out of Sleepy Hollow, then it's like, this whole idea that they have like a bright future ahead of them is
I liked that.
Visually apparent. And this whole idea of like New York in 1800 still being like this burgeoning city of promise as you're getting into the new century and you're putting the revolution behind you. So yeah.
It was good stuff, man. So did you was it fun for you or?
Yeah, like I gotta say, I was like, all right.
You were dreading it a little bit?
Yeah, I was like, all right, I gotta watch this movie. Like, this is not the type of movie I would typically watch. I know the last movie that we did that was kind of similar to this was Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't good.
I did not really enjoy, so I'm like, all right, like, this is gonna be another one of those. Like, and then the movie starts, and then I saw Tim Burton, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know he was behind this. Like, all right, let's see. And yeah, like the movie's basically a mystery. It's not what I thought it was gonna be. I didn't know what I expected, but I think I was expecting it to be something more similar to Interview with the Vampire, which it was not. So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. I was like,
Oh, I'm
this
happy to
movie's
hear that.
actually like this movie's actually pretty fun. So what about themes? I mean, there's some pretty obvious ones. I think obviously with like the main character, Mrs. whatever her name was,
Van Tassel?
Van Tassel. There's the whole concept of like you reap what you sow. But I think even more specifically, like when you are greedy and your main motivation is revenge, that actually creates more danger for you. You know what I mean? Like she put herself in harm's way because she was so hell-bent.
Hell-bent.
She was actually hell-bent on like getting revenge and getting money and getting power. And it's like, bro, like when you're chasing things for the wrong reasons, you're just like creating more ways for things to go wrong. Where like you kind of already had it made. Like your life was pretty good. You were living in a nice part of town. You had a big ass house. You had means and money by proxy of the man that you married. And like for someone who had to basically like grow up in the middle of the woods with no parents, like you made a pretty good life for yourself, but it wasn't enough. It was like, nah, I need to get back at all the people who didn't help me when I was a child. And it's like, all right, man, like you bit off more than you could chew, and you know, you just did too much.
I mean, to be fair, like even her making a good life for herself, you know, like she ended up killing Katrina's mom to get her husband.
Yeah,
'Cause remember, she was the nurse
that's
and
true.
poisoned her.
That's true.
So I mean, from the beginning, so
she was already trash. Yeah.
From the time, like you mentioned, like back in the wood when she was a little girl, she's the one who got the Hesse and even killed.
She said, "Snap." He's like, "Shh, don't make any sounds." And then she just said, "Snap."
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was born evil.
Okay.
No.
I mean, maybe. I don't know how.
But
that
yeah,
works.
I think the real, like you said, like the fact that she was so hell bent on it, and I feel like didn't we have another movie where it was like about like how revenge, like someone was so about revenge that it ended up hurting them in the end, but now I can't remember what the movie was. But we had something similar to this in the past where it's like when you keep pushing like this.
No.
Maybe it'll come back to me. But it's like when you keep pushing like this, it's never good.
Well, they all wanted revenge in The Craft on, you know, and then it started to like get out of hand.
Well, some was revenge. One girl just wanted clear skin.
Oh,
like
Neve Campbell, that's
yeah,
right.
she just wanted
that's
clear
right.
skin. I'm like, why did they make? She didn't have anything wrong with her. Like, she's, you know. But anyway, yeah. I also liked the fact that Ichabod, you know, it's like yes, he never believed in the paranormal until now, but also like he still was able to solve the case by using his science. Mm-hmm. Because when he saw the cut on what turned out to be the servant girl, he realized like the way that it didn't heal, or there was like no there was something on the skin where it made him realize that like the body was dead at the time the cut was made.
Yeah.
And so he saw that and was like, oh, this is not
Cat.
actually her. Yeah, this is not actually her. Something is not right. And through and through, he was able to stick to his scientific studies to figure out what was going on. He relied on it. Now, they did have one scene where it's like he actually almost got shot by Miss Van Tassel, and she was saved. He was saved because he had Katrina's book in his breast pocket. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like, I guess the witchcraft did save him a little bit too. And also she protected him with her spells. So it's like a little bit of like, yes, use your common sense and, you know.
He was bewitched, man. Come on.
But also it's like, I think it's also a message of like, maybe there still might be something else out there, whether or not you believe in it, whether or not, you know, it's your religion or whatever. But it's like, maybe there is something else in the atmosphere that can't be explained. And it's like, you know, still follow science, but also maybe there's something else out there for you to consider and keep your eyes open.
Thanks, Files.
Maybe. All right. Couple of interesting facts here. So, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is an actual story. It's actually a story within a short story that was published in 1820. There were many differences, but I'm only going to point out a few. So first of all, in the story, Ichabod Crane is a school teacher instead, who moved to Sleepy Hollow from Connecticut. In the book, for some reason, he seems to be preoccupied with eating. Like, there's various times when he talks about like how good certain farm animals taste and how he wants to stay with certain families because the mothers cook very good food.
I mean, chicken,
Like-
pork, beef.
He's like all about food, which is like very kind of distracting to me, but okay. Secondly, in the book, he's a very firm believer in witchcraft, which is complete opposite to the movie. And he's enthralled by the story of the Hessian soldier who is now the Headless Horseman. And then third, he ends up missing after the Headless Horseman throws his head at him, which knocks him to the ground. So a little bit of differences there. And it's a short story, so it wouldn't be this long. Now, there is a real person whose name was Ichabod Crane. He was a military officer for 48 years. He was stationed at the same place as Washington Irving, who is the author of the novel. There's debates out there as to whether or not they've actually met. Like, I couldn't find anything that actually substantiated the fact that two of them met.
Actually, a Headless Horseman.
Well, no, but if Ichabod Crane and Washington Irving actually met in real life, they were stationed in the same place. So, I mean, it's likely. I feel like with this kind of a name, like he at least has heard of this man before doing this story. Basically, like, I think at the time of the War of 1812, Ichabod Crane was a colonel. So,
oh wow,
big up to him. One thing I thought that was really cool about this was that the film was shot in England, and what they did was they built the town on 20 acres of land. So it's like when you walked on, it was like everything you saw had been built by this set. And the Western Wood, where the Van Tassel stepmother, where her sister lived and where they grew up, what they did was they built that on a soundstage. And they said that the way it was built was so well done that by the end of filming, the Western Wood was infested with bugs and birds. Like, birds had like nested there thinking like, oh, we outside.
Oh, wow.
And if you watch the film, they said there are some certain scenes where they might catch a bird flying. They said those are actual creatures who made homes on the set.
But they're in a soundstage in a studio.
Yeah, so that's
how are birds getting in?
Well, think about I guess a lot. Maybe like if
I guess when they open the doors.
Yeah, maybe the doors aren't closed the whole time. But yeah, I thought it was really cool, like the way that they built that huge acres of like the land, like the town. It just looked like a cool place. And Johnny Depp was saying that like the fake town was so beautiful that he wanted to live there.
Yeah, this was solid.
I've seen this movie. This is my third watch. Surprisingly, the first time I watched it was maybe about like 8 or 9 years ago. Like, I didn't watch it like when it first came out because, like you, I just thought it was something I wouldn't be interested in initially. It was like The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Oh, it's some stupid guy with like some headless horseman who's running around. Like, I just thought it was gonna be dumb, honestly. And I watched it actually with my husband. He put me onto it back when we were still dating, and I was like, "Oh, this movie's really good."
and that's when you knew.
I said, "Oh, it's really good." And then I watched it. You know, this is my third time watching it back now. So like, yeah, I did remember that Miss Van Tassel was, you know, the bad guy, but there was still a lot of little things that I missed since it's been a long time since I watched it before. It's fun. I mean, I think this is a movie that you probably do have to watch a couple times to get all the different intricacies of like who is who and like how she was able to manipulate all these different elders in the town. Like, watching it back now, it was like, oh, I think I'm getting a little bit more. But even now, this is my third watch. I don't know all the names because it's just, there's so many people.
It's a lot.
And also the names are like older names. It's not like names we still use. So it's hard to like, how do I pronounce that? And who is that? And all that. But I love a murder mystery. And then you throw in a paranormal element, but then you also explained it really well. It wasn't just a ghost running around. It was like, oh, he's being controlled, and this is why. So I enjoy this movie a lot. I'm giving it a 4.
All right, yeah. I thought, like I said, I was not really sure what to expect. I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. But no, I thought it was better than I expected. It was definitely like a Johnny Depp ass movie. I feel like the little facial expressions he was giving throughout the movie were like, oh, this is Jack Sparrow before Jack Sparrow existed. Like he was already teeing himself up for this. But yeah, it was a good story. I like the mystery of it all, and it not just being like some guy chasing some ghost. It was like some guys actually chasing other guys, and the ghost is really just there as a muse for people's bad behavior, which I thought was interesting. So yeah, this is a good entertaining movie. I'm gonna give it a 3.2.
Oh, you're trying to be like me now with the 0.2s.
Yeah,
you were making fun of me in the past.
I know. I switched it up.
One thing we
I
didn't
couldn't remember if I've ever done it before, so you know.
One thing we didn't mention briefly is throughout the movie he has multiple dreams of his mother.
Yeah.
And apparently it seems as though he says that like she was like one with nature, so maybe she was into like some kind of witchcraft or like.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that meant.
Which is why he kind of was like resistant to it. His father was hell bent on Christianity and like murdered his mother.
Well, yeah, his mother was
like,
a witch,
bro.
and this is like the 1700s.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, we're not going to be doing this. And yeah, that's what people did.
Yeah.
When you were a witch, you got killed.
But then he discovered his mom's body like that. Good Lord. So that's why he was like, he's not really about anything. He wasn't about Christianity or witchcraft. He was just like, just give me science.
Yeah.
So that made
cold hard facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing else.
So that kind of gave us more of an insight into his character and why he believed the way he did. All right. I guess those are our ratings. We got 3.2 and a 4. So let us know how you felt about Sleepy Hollow, what your rewind rating would be. You can leave a comment wherever you listen. And then also hit us up on our social media. Please continue to send in your request to our email at rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, don't forget we have our Patreon up and running. For just $5 a month, you'll get access to our Patreon chat as well as bonus episodes where we cover movies from the late 80s and early 2000s. All right, Joel, do you have any final words?
Villainy wears many masks, but none so dangerous as the mask of virtue.
All right, y'all. Cherish those words. Later.
Bye.